Imagine a room, a gathering of people, a buzzing energy. And then you walk in, not with a flourish, not seeking the spotlight, but with an undeniable presence that shifts the very atmosphere. People notice you, not because you're trying to impress, not because you're performing an act, but because there's something profoundly different about your energy. Women sense it, drawn by an invisible current. Men respect it, acknowledging an inherent authority. You've become, without conscious effort, what the ancient Stoics revered as the sage. A man who has so completely mastered himself that he radiates a natural magnetism. Today, we delve into the deep psychological principles and time-honored strategies that distinguish men who relentlessly chase from those who are effortlessly pursued. We'll uncover the secrets that elevate men who beg for a fleeting glance into men who command unwavering respect, transforming those who live in scarcity into individuals who operate from an abundant, overflowing wellspring of self-worth. What you're about to discover transcends superficial pickup artistry or manipulative tactics. This is a journey to a deeper truth, a blueprint for becoming the kind of man who naturally attracts not only profound romantic partnerships, but also unparalleled opportunities, genuine friendships, and success that permeates every facet of life. This isn't just theory, it's a synthesis of evolutionary psychology, ancient Stoic wisdom, and a modern understanding of human behavior, revealing a path that most men never even realize exists. The bedrock of authentic attraction is rooted in what psychologist Robert Cialdini termed social proof, though its true nature is often misunderstood. Many mistakenly believe social proof is about flaunting possessions, showcasing achievements, or broadcasting status. Yet to discerning high-quality individuals, particularly women, such overt displays are often perceived as repulsive. True social proof, the kind that genuinely magnetizes, emanates from an internal state. Your unwavering self-respect and your remarkable ability to remain centered, unperturbed, regardless of the turbulent external circumstances swirling around you. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, profoundly articulated this foundational truth. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. This isn't merely a philosophical ideal. It is the very cornerstone of magnetic masculinity, the unshakable foundation upon which all other attractive qualities are built. When you truly grasp that your intrinsic worth is not, and never will be, determined by anyone else's approval, a seismic shift occurs in your energetic field. Women, often more intuitively attuned and emotionally intelligent than men, perceive this shift instantly. They possess an uncanny ability to detect desperation from a great distance, almost like a scent. Conversely, they are irresistibly drawn to genuine confidence, much like moths to a luminous flame. This fundamental dynamic explains a persistent paradox. The men who exude the most neediness and desperately crave attention are precisely the ones who most effectively repel the very women they yearn for. In stark contrast, men who are genuinely content, fulfilled, and at peace with themselves seem to effortlessly attract a cascade of positive attention. The profound secret to this phenomenon lies in what psychologists term internal locus of control. Men who embody this powerful trait fundamentally believe that they are the primary architects of their own destiny. They refuse to cast blame on circumstances, external factors, other people, or even bad luck for their challenges and problems. Instead, their laser-like focus remains squarely on what is undeniably within their sphere of influence and control: their actions, their responses to life's vicissitudes, and their unwavering commitment to personal development. This proactive, self-empowered mindset is extraordinarily attractive because it broadcasts a clear, compelling signal to others. You are a resourceful problem solver, an innate leader, someone who courageously takes full responsibility for the trajectory and quality of your own life. However, this is precisely where many men falter, misinterpreting the very essence of confidence. They often equate confidence with being loud, overtly aggressive, or perpetually needing to prove themselves through bluster and pokas. Yet real confidence is quiet. It is a profound inner stillness. It manifests as the remarkable ability to remain calm and collected, even under immense pressure, to listen far more intently than you speak, and to be profoundly comfortable with the profound power of silence. When you are genuinely confident, there is no inherent need to fill every waking moment with words or to impress everyone within earshot with a litany of your accomplishments. Instead, you become completely comfortable with who you are, embracing your flaws and imperfections as integral parts of your authentic self. This deep self-acceptance naturally leads us to a revolutionary concept known as outcome independence, a principle that has fundamentally reshaped how truly successful men navigate not just dating, but indeed all significant areas of their lives. Outcome independence signifies that you are genuinely and profoundly okay with any result. If a woman expresses interest in you, that's wonderful, a pleasant bonus. But if she's not interested, that's perfectly fine too. It simply doesn't diminish your core happiness. This isn't about feigning indifference or pretending not to care. It's about cultivating a life so rich, so meaningful, and so profoundly fulfilling on its own terms that another person's approval or validation becomes utterly unnecessary for your overall happiness and sense of worth. This is the beautiful paradox at play. The less you need someone's approval, the more likely it is that you will, in fact, receive it. This dynamic unfolds because desperation and palpable neediness activate a primal response in others, which evolutionary psychologists call mate-guarding anxiety. This is the unconscious, instinctive fear that someone who needs you too much, too quickly, might eventually become overly possessive, intensely jealous, or unduly dependent. Women equipped with an instinctive radar for self-preservation often unconsciously avoid men who project signals of potentially becoming overly attached too soon, as this signals a potential for emotional instability down the line. They seek partners who are whole, not halves looking for completion. Now let's explore the practical application of these potent principles. The first crucial step is to cultivate what we call mission-centered living. Every truly attractive man possesses a profound passion, a driving purpose that is significantly larger and more expansive than any individual relationship. This might manifest as the relentless pursuit of building a thriving business, the dedicated mastery of a challenging craft, a meaningful contribution to his community, or an unyielding commitment to personal excellence across various domains. This overarching mission becomes his primary consuming focus. While relationships are undeniably important and cherished components of his life, they are inherently secondary to the all-encompassing nature of his mission. When you are genuinely passionate about something deeply meaningful, you spontaneously become a more intrinsically interesting individual. You accumulate compelling stories to share, rich experiences that shape your perspective, and a profound sense of purpose that others find immensely captivating. Women are instinctively drawn to men who are moving forward, who possess a clear direction, who are actively building something significant and enduring with their lives. This doesn't necessitate being a millionaire or a celebrity. It simply demands that you are deeply engaged with life in a purposeful, meaningful, and committed way. The profound wisdom of the Stoic philosopher Epictetus provides further illumination, teaching us that we should exclusively focus on what is truly up to us. This includes our judgments, our deliberate actions, and our considered responses. Everything else, crucially, including how others perceive us, is ultimately beyond our direct control. When you deeply internalize this liberating wisdom, you cease to expend precious energy attempting to manage other people's opinions or perceptions of you. Instead, your entire focus pivots inward, dedicated to the relentless pursuit of becoming the absolute best version of yourself, aligned with your own values and principles. This fundamental shift in focus is incredibly magnetic because it is a clear demonstration of profound emotional maturity and unshakable inner strength. Beyond the purely psychological, physical fitness plays an unexpectedly crucial role in this transformative process, though not for the superficial reasons most men assume. While it is undeniable that being in good physical shape enhances physical attractiveness, the true enduring benefit is deeply psychological. Engaging in regular, challenging forms of exercise, whether it's the disciplined intensity of weightlifting or the focused precision of martial arts, actively builds mental resilience, cultivates unwavering discipline, and fortifies genuine confidence. It systematically teaches you the invaluable lesson that you possess the capacity to push through discomfort, that consistent effort inevitably leads to improvement, and that you hold the profound power to physically and mentally transform yourself. The rigorous discipline required to consistently maintain physical fitness inevitably spills over into every other area of your life. You become demonstrably more reliable, more acutely focused, and significantly more capable of practicing delayed gratification. These qualities are extraordinarily attractive because they collectively signal that you are the kind of man who can be depended upon, who faithfully finishes what he starts, and who possesses the formidable self-control necessary to make difficult, often unpopular decisions for long-term gain. However, physical attractiveness, while beneficial, is merely one component of a far more expansive and intricate picture. Emotional intelligence, the sophisticated ability to both understand and effectively manage your own emotions while simultaneously being attuned to the emotional states of others, is equally, if not more, important. Men who embody high emotional intelligence do not react impulsively or defensively to criticism or perceived rejection. They do not personalize every slight or setback. Instead, they possess the remarkable capacity to remain calm and centered, even amidst challenging and socially complex situations. This profound emotional stability is incredibly attractive because it instills a powerful sense of psychological safety and security in those around them. Women, in particular, are deeply drawn to men who make them feel emotionally secure and protected. This does not equate to being emotionally unavailable or suppressing your authentic feelings. Rather, it signifies the ability to experience the full spectrum of human emotions: disappointment without bitterness, anger without destructiveness, excitement without becoming manic, all without being fundamentally controlled or overwhelmed by them. The capacity to maintain your emotional equilibrium also empowers you to be genuinely present with others. Instead of being consumed by your own insecurities or driven by a hidden agenda, you can truly listen to what someone is communicating, respond thoughtfully and empathetically, and forge a profound, authentic connection. This level of presence is an increasingly rare commodity in our distracted, smartphone-obsessed culture, which only serves to amplify its immense value. Communication skills constitute another crucial element of magnetic masculinity, but again, this is not about memorizing pickup lines or mastering manipulative techniques. It is about cultivating the profound ability to be both genuinely interesting and genuinely interested. Interesting people are those who possess diverse experiences, a broad spectrum of knowledge, and unique, well-formed perspectives. They cultivate this by reading widely, traveling whenever possible, even if it's just exploring new neighborhoods, daring to try new things, engaging with a myriad of different people, and continuously expanding their understanding of the world around them. Yet merely being interesting is insufficient. You must also be deeply interested. People are profoundly drawn to those who make them feel heard, understood, and truly seen. This means asking thoughtful, insightful questions, listening intently and without interruption to the answers, and genuinely engaging with what others are sharing. It means cultivating an authentic curiosity about people's experiences, their aspirations, and their unique perspectives. When you are genuinely interested in others, they feel inherently valued and deeply appreciated, which creates powerful, positive associations with being in your company. The ancient Stoics, in their pursuit of wisdom, vehemently emphasized the paramount importance of virtue: wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. These are not merely abstract ideals, they are intensely practical qualities that render you a more fundamentally attractive human being. Wisdom involves the consistent practice of making sound decisions, learning profoundly from your inevitable mistakes, and developing a nuanced understanding of life's inherent complexities. Justice demands treating others with fairness and equity, and possessing the moral fortitude to stand up for what is unequivocally right. Courage necessitates facing challenges directly and head-on, and possessing the discernment to take calculated, intelligent risks when necessary. Temperance is the mastery of self-control and moderation in all things. Men who embody these virtues naturally command a deep, intrinsic respect because their actions emanate from an unshakable foundation of integrity. They are trustworthy, consistently reliable, and principled individuals. They steadfastly refuse to compromise their core values, for transient short-term gains or fleeting approval. This consistency and unwavering reliability are incredibly attractive because they establish a profound sense of predictability and emotional security in all relationships. Financial stability is another significant factor, but once again, its true value is often misunderstood and misattributed. It's not about the ostentatious display of expensive cars or designer clothing to impress others. Financial stability is attractive because it is a tangible demonstration of competence, thoughtful planning ability, and self-discipline. It signals that you possess the capacity to manage resources effectively, to think strategically for the long term, and to responsibly handle significant obligations. These are, in essence, undeniable leadership qualities that signal your profound ability to contribute meaningfully to a partnership and, potentially, to the future stability of a family. Perhaps the most crucial distinguishing quality of magnetically attractive men is their evolved relationship with failure and rejection. Rather than being devastated, paralyzed, or defined by setbacks, they inherently view them as invaluable learning opportunities. They possess the profound understanding that failure is an inevitable, indispensable part of the growth process, and that rejection is frequently more about a fundamental lack of compatibility than it is about any inherent defect in their personal worth. This cultivated resilience empowers them to confidently take appropriate risks, to boldly pursue new opportunities, and to maintain their intrinsic confidence even when circumstances do not unfold precisely as planned. When you are liberated from the paralyzing fear of failure, you become inherently more willing to embrace vulnerability, to experiment with new approaches, and to courageously express your authentic self. This very authenticity is incredibly attractive precisely because it is so exceedingly rare. Most people are so preoccupied with meticulously maintaining a carefully curated image that they seldom, if ever, reveal their true, unvarnished personality. When you are truly comfortable with who you are, embracing your imperfections as much as your strengths, you inadvertently grant others permission to be authentic themselves, fostering deeper, more genuine connections. The concept of preselection in evolutionary psychology posits that individuals are often more attracted to those who are already perceived as desirable by others. However, this does not imply engaging in superficial games or fabricating artificial scarcity. Instead, it underscores the importance of diligently developing the intrinsic qualities that naturally render you desirable: genuine confidence, robust competence, profound emotional stability, a compelling sense of purpose, unyielding integrity. When you genuinely possess these foundational qualities, you naturally attract positive attention from a diverse array of people, which in turn creates authentic, undeniable social proof. This is precisely why personal development is so profoundly crucial. Every new skill you acquire, every formidable challenge you overcome, every deeply ingrained fear you courageously confront, significantly adds to your overall attractiveness as a person. Whether it's the intellectual rigor of learning a new language, the artistic mastery of a musical instrument, the pursuit of professional expertise, or simply refining your cooking skills, any form of self-improvement invariably makes you a more interesting, more capable, and ultimately, a more magnetic individual. The journey of becoming magnetically attractive is, at its heart, about becoming the best, most actualized version of yourself. This pursuit is not primarily about impressing others, but rather about an intrinsic obligation you owe to yourself to fully realize your inherent potential. When you are genuinely committed to continuous personal growth, when you are meticulously building a life that genuinely fills you with pride, when you are steadily transforming into someone you deeply respect, others are naturally and irresistibly drawn to become part of that inspiring journey. This profound transformation is not an overnight phenomenon. It demands immense patience, unwavering consistency, and an unshakable commitment to the arduous process itself, rather than an anxious fixation on immediate results. Yet, as you diligently cultivate these multifaceted qualities, unflappable confidence, keen emotional intelligence, robust physical fitness, articulate communication skills, deep virtue, undeniable competence, resilient fortitude, and radical authenticity, you will inevitably observe your entire life undergoing a remarkable positive transformation. You will attract more fulfilling relationships, a wealth of new opportunities, and greater, more profound success in all areas. The magnetic man does not chase anyone because he is fundamentally liberated from the need to. He is far too engrossed in the monumental task of building an amazing, meaningful life, constantly developing himself and passionately pursuing his overarching mission. Others are naturally drawn to his vibrant energy, his clear purpose, and his unshakable authenticity. He simply becomes the kind of person others instinctively want to be around, not because he is overtly trying to impress them, but because he is genuinely impressive through his relentless commitment to excellence and ongoing personal growth. The journey toward magnetic masculinity also demands a sophisticated understanding of social calibration, without ever devolving into being a people-pleaser. Social calibration implies a heightened awareness of subtle social dynamics and the judicious ability to adjust your behavior appropriately, all while steadfastly maintaining your core identity. This is distinct from fundamentally altering who you are to merely fit in. It's about expressing your authentic self in ways that proactively foster positive, constructive interactions with others. For example, true confidence does not equate to arrogance or insensitivity to the feelings of others. A magnetically attractive man possesses the keen insight to read the room, to intuitively understand when humor is appropriate and when a more serious demeanor is warranted, and to subtly adjust his communication style accordingly, all without ever compromising his deeply held values or intrinsic authenticity. This blend of emotional and social intelligence makes others profoundly comfortable in his presence because they implicitly trust that he will not create awkward, inappropriate, or socially discordant situations. The essential role of mystery and intrigue in building attraction cannot be understated, yet this too is often misinterpreted. It is not about playing manipulative games or being deliberately secretive. It is about possessing a genuine depth and multiple layers to your personality that gradually reveal themselves over time, like the unfolding chapters of a captivating novel. When you cultivate a life rich with diverse experiences, a tapestry of varied interests, and a complex, engaged inner life, people are naturally compelled to want to know more about you. You become like a fascinating book that others are eager to keep reading, page after page. This profound depth is cultivated by living life fully and intentionally. Travel when you can, even if it's just exploring different neighborhoods in your own city. Read books outside your usual comfort zone. Actively engage with diverse types of people, challenge your deeply held assumptions and beliefs, and continuously learn new skills, not out of obligation, but because you possess a genuine, insatiable curiosity about the world itself. These accumulated experiences are the fertile ground from which stories, unique perspectives, and profound knowledge spring forth, making conversations with you genuinely interesting and enriching. The concept of emotional leadership is profoundly crucial for magnetic men. This means being the individual who consciously sets the emotional tone in interactions and relationships. If someone around you is consumed by stress, you remain a beacon of calm. If someone is ensnared in negativity, you do not allow yourself to be pulled down into their emotional vortex. Instead, you steadfastly maintain your positive, centered energy and frequently have the capacity to uplift them. If someone feels uncertain, your quiet confidence helps them to feel more secure and grounded. This does not, however, mean suppressing your own legitimate emotions or pretending never to experience a bad day. It means taking full responsibility for your own emotional state and actively choosing not to burden everyone else with your personal problems. When you encounter challenges, you navigate them with grace, maturity, and a stoic resolve. You might confide your struggles with close, trusted friends or family, but you do not indiscriminately dump your emotional baggage on every person you encounter. Emotional leadership also encompasses the ability to be comfortable with conflict when it is necessary and constructive. Many men instinctively avoid confrontation at all costs in a misguided attempt to maintain peace, but this very avoidance actually diminishes their attractiveness because it signals an inability to handle difficult or uncomfortable situations. A magnetic man can respectfully disagree, set boundaries firmly yet kindly, and courageously stand up for himself and others when the situation demands it. He is not a provocateur seeking arguments, but neither is he afraid of them when they arise for a just cause. The importance of having a strong, diverse social network cannot be overstated. Magnetic men do not operate in isolation. They are deeply integrated into communities. They cultivate genuine friendships with both men and women, and they consistently contribute positively to the lives of others. This is not about cynical networking for personal gain. It is about genuinely caring about others and purposefully building meaningful, reciprocal relationships across all areas of life. Having strong, supportive male friendships is particularly vital. These relationships provide invaluable emotional support, consistent accountability, and unique opportunities for growth that simply cannot be found elsewhere. Men who exclusively focus on romantic relationships often become overly needy and desperate because they are, consciously or unconsciously, attempting to fulfill all of their social and emotional needs through one single person. When you cultivate a rich, diverse social life with a multitude of fulfilling relationships, you approach romantic connections from a place of genuine abundance rather than crippling scarcity. Your relationship with money and material possessions also reveals a great deal about your character and overall attractiveness. Magnetic men possess a healthy, balanced relationship with money. They are not obsessively driven by it, but neither are they irresponsible or reckless with it. They understand that money is a powerful tool to create enriching experiences, to build security for themselves and their loved ones, and to generate opportunities to assist and uplift others. They are generous when it is appropriate and meaningful, but they are not wasteful or prone to showy displays of wealth. This principle extends to how you treat service workers, people who seemingly can do nothing for you, and those who are less fortunate than yourself. True character is illuminated in how you treat people when you have absolutely nothing tangible to gain from the interaction. Kindness, profound respect, and fundamental human decency are incredibly attractive qualities that eloquently signal your true underlying nature. The concept of delayed gratification is absolutely fundamental to constructing the kind of life that naturally attracts others. This powerful psychological principle, famously and elegantly demonstrated in the seminal Stanford marshmallow experiments, unequivocally shows that individuals who possess the ability to resist immediate, smaller rewards in favor of larger, more significant long-term benefits tend to achieve greater success and fulfillment in life. This principle applies across the board, from fitness and financial planning to the cultivation of deep relationships and career development. In the specific context of attraction, delayed gratification translates to not settling for the very first person who happens to show interest in you. It means not rushing into physical intimacy before a genuine emotional connection has had the opportunity to fully blossom and solidify. It means steadfastly refusing to compromise your inherent standards simply because you might be feeling a temporary pang of loneliness or impatience. When you demonstrate, through your actions, that you possess high standards and are willing to patiently wait for true quality, you become inherently more desirable because you send a clear, powerful signal that you value yourself highly. This profound patience also applies directly to the ongoing process of self-improvement itself. Magnetic masculinity is not and cannot be built in a few short weeks or even months. It is an immersive, lifelong journey of continuous growth and development. Men who deeply understand this long-term process are not easily discouraged by temporary setbacks or seemingly slow progress. They are unwaveringly committed to the long game, which bestows upon them a profound calmness and a persistent resolve that others find extraordinarily attractive. The immense power of vulnerability, when employed judiciously and appropriately, is another crucial element. This does not imply indiscriminately broadcasting your deepest fears and insecurities to every person you meet. Rather, it signifies a courageous willingness to be authentically real, to humbly admit when you genuinely don't know something, to share appropriate struggles and challenges, and to allow others to witness your inherent humanity. This judicious vulnerability fosters deep connection and builds profound trust, because it clearly demonstrates that you are secure enough within yourself that you do not need to perpetually maintain a facade of perfection. However, this vulnerability must always be meticulously balanced with an underlying strength. People are inherently attracted to those who can be open and real, yet simultaneously remain capable, competent, and reliable. It is the intricate, powerful combination of strength interwoven with appropriate vulnerability that creates the most profound and enduring connections, showing that you are undeniably human while simultaneously demonstrating that you possess the fortitude to effectively handle life's inherent challenges. Your overarching attitude toward personal growth and continuous learning is also profoundly attractive. Magnetic men are perpetually improving, constantly learning, and always actively seeking to evolve into better versions of themselves. They conscientiously read books, attend insightful seminars, actively seek out and work with wise mentors, and are always proactively seeking constructive feedback. They are not defensive about their perceived weaknesses. Instead, they embrace them as invaluable opportunities for significant growth. This growth mindset extends seamlessly to how they process criticism and feedback. Instead of instinctively getting defensive or taking things personally, they calmly evaluate whether the feedback is useful, express genuine gratitude to the person for their perspective, and then thoughtfully implement changes if and when appropriate. This level of emotional maturity is exceedingly rare and thus highly valued in all forms of relationships, professional and personal alike. The role of personal style and presentation cannot be ignored, but its significance extends far deeper than simply wearing expensive designer clothes. True style is about cultivating a sophisticated understanding of what genuinely works best for your unique body type, your lifestyle, and your individual personality, and then consistently presenting yourself in a polished, congruent manner. This does not mandate being flashy or rigidly adhering to transient trends. It means being clean, meticulously well-groomed, and appropriately dressed for a diverse range of situations. More importantly, your personal style should be an authentic reflection of your true self. If you are naturally more casual and laid back, attempting to dress like a corporate executive will inevitably come across as inauthentic and forced. Conversely, if you are naturally more formal and traditional, attempting to emulate a rock star will appear as though you are merely playing a character. The fundamental key is to deeply understand who you genuinely are and then express that inner identity through your external appearance in the most attractive and authentic way possible. Your physical posture and body language communicate volumes more about you than words ever could. Magnetic men carry themselves with an inherent confidence. They stand tall, establish appropriate and confident eye contact, utilize open, inviting body language, and move with a clear sense of purpose. This is not about intimidating others or aggressively occupying too much space. It is about being profoundly comfortable in your own skin and unapologetically owning your existence. Good posture alone can dramatically alter how others perceive you, and perhaps even more powerfully, how you feel about yourself internally. When you stand tall with your shoulders back and your head held high, you not only project an image of greater confidence outwardly, but you actually feel more confident inwardly, a direct result of the profound mind-body connection. This initiates a powerful positive feedback loop, where improved posture leads to improved feelings, which in turn leads to improved interactions, which then reinforces the positive posture, creating a virtuous cycle. The way you adeptly handle stress and pressure reveals a tremendous amount about your character and overall attractiveness. Life, with its inherent unpredictability, inevitably presents challenges, conflicts, and difficult situations. Magnetic men do not crumble or falter under pressure. They possess the remarkable ability to remain calm, think clearly and strategically, and take appropriate, decisive action. They do not resort to blaming others, making excuses, or allowing themselves to become overwhelmed by circumstances that are fundamentally beyond their control. This invaluable grace under pressure is not an innate trait, but is diligently developed through experience and consistent practice. Every challenge you courageously face and successfully overcome incrementally builds your resilience and solidifies your confidence. Every time you skillfully navigate a difficult situation, you unequivocally prove to yourself and to others that you are a reliable anchor, someone who can be consistently counted upon when circumstances become truly arduous. This unwavering reliability and steadfastness are incredibly attractive qualities that make others instinctively desire your presence in their lives. Your relationship with your own past, including your mistakes and failures, also plays a critically important role in your overall attractiveness. Magnetic men do not attempt to conceal their past or desperately pretend to be perfect. Instead, they courageously acknowledge their mistakes, take full responsibility for them, and openly demonstrate how they have learned and profoundly grown from these experiences. This level of maturity and insightful self-awareness is far more genuinely attractive than attempting to maintain a fragile facade of perfection. The profound ability to forgive yourself for past mistakes while simultaneously taking full, conscious responsibility for them is a powerful demonstration of both emotional intelligence and profound personal growth. It also liberates you to forgive others for their own inevitable imperfections, which makes you infinitely easier and more pleasant to be around, fostering deeper, more authentic, and more resilient relationships. Finally, the most magnetic men possess a deep, abiding understanding that true attractiveness emanates from contribution, from genuinely making other people's lives demonstrably better through their very presence. This might manifest as being a supportive confidant during difficult times, injecting humor and lightness into otherwise serious situations, offering useful and insightful advice when it is genuinely sought, or simply being an excellent empathetic listener when someone desperately needs to be heard. When your fundamental focus shifts from the self-serving question of "what can I get from others?" to the generous, outward-focused inquiry of "what can I give to others?", everything in your world fundamentally changes. You spontaneously become the kind of person that others actively seek out, not because you are overtly attempting to impress them, but because simply being in your orbit genuinely improves their overall experience of life. This ultimately is the highest and most profound form of attraction, becoming so inherently valuable as a person that others naturally and instinctively desire your presence in their lives, drawn to the positive impact you have. Remember, attraction is not a tactic you do to someone else. It is a state of being, something you become. And when you commit to focusing on becoming the absolute best version of yourself, systematically applying these time-tested principles drawn from the vast fields of psychology, philosophy, and human behavior, you will inevitably discover that the right people, the truly authentic connections, will naturally gravitate toward you. This is the undeniable path of the magnetic man, and it begins profoundly with your very next decision, the unwavering choice to invest in yourself deeply and consistently. The journey is undeniably long, filled with its own unique challenges and triumphs, but every deliberate step forward you take will render you more attractive, more confident, and ultimately more profoundly fulfilled as a man. Begin today, commit to unwavering consistency, and witness as your entire life undergoes a magnificent transformation, starting from the inside out.